Hey guys, Fusion here. So sometime during the night, Riot released the big patch that we've been waiting for, the Shadow Isles patch. It includes the PB, the Twisted Tree Line stuff that got put in, and a few other nerfs, buffs, and general changes. I just want to kind of go over them and explain them and talk about them a little bit. So I don't think I'll really go over the new items in the Twisted Tree Line. I'll mostly just focus on the changes that affect the current meta and the current thing that people are interested in. So first off is Blitzcrank. Base health reduced to 518 from 568. Health per level reduced to 95 from 100. That's, I guess, just to kind of get rid of a bit of his tankiness, because he was quite tanky for free, Blitzcrank, which was a bit too was it was a bit too good considering the amount of initiation he had, and I guess this is Riot's sort of way to try and nerf him a little bit, make him a little bit more difficult to play. So we have Evelyn. Agony Embrace ability power ratio reduced to plus 1% every 100 ability power from plus 1% every 50 ability power. So that kind of just makes it double as hard to get the same amount of ability power on that specific skill on Evelyn. So that was kind of a needed nerf, even though she wasn't necessarily, in my opinion, OP really. She kind of was in solo queue anyway. So Ezreal Essence Flux no longer reduces enemy champion attack speed, so I kind of think that's GG for Ezreal in the bot lane. Obviously nothing else has changed, it still does the same amount of damage in that, but to me that's just GG for Ezreal. Like, that was the kind of thing that was making it good for him to trade in bot lane and duel with. I guess you can still sort of spam the stuff from range and that, but if you ever start trading auto attacks, then you're just going to end up getting screwed, most likely, because yeah, that was the only thing stopping him from getting owned, the attack speed debuff. So Jace, definitely needed Jace nerfs. He was ridiculous for a long time. Thundering Blow no longer deals any flat base damage, still deals percent max health damage, and has a bonus attack damage ratio. I kind of feel like they needed to tone down the percent max health damage thing as well, but I suppose any nerf is good. And Stun no longer lasts beyond the knockback duration. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't realise that anyway. And Acceleration Gate mana cost increased to 50 from 30. I think they should have increased the cooldown on it a little bit as well. But I mean, I'm not the lead champion patcher at Riot, so obviously I don't know as much as them. I'm just kind of voicing my opinions on it. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments anyway. So Leona got a few fixes, Poppy got a few fixes, and Rengar gets nerfed. Base health regeneration reduced to 4 from 8. I know before, right, did this with a lot of other champions like Talon and stuff. They reduced the amount of mana they start with, the amount of mana they regen. They do it with a lot of champions that recently get released. They end up having to nerf a lot of their base stats, like champions that they recently released. I've seen this as a common theme in League of Legends, and the way they nerf and buff champions and things like that. So his health regeneration per level got reduced as well. Bone Tooth Necklace no longer grants a base plus 10 attack damage. So that kind of, I don't know, nerfs that item a little bit. I suppose people used to buy it every time if they were kind of snowballing the lane, so. And Savagery Empowered Attack Damage Ratio reduced to 2.0 from 2.5. Having a 2.5 scaling is pretty ridiculous anyway, so I guess that's kind of needed. He did do a hell of a lot of burst damage. And yeah, Thrill of the Hunt stealth duration reduced to 5 from 7 seconds. Being stealth for 7 seconds makes it pretty impossible to get ganked, especially when people used to build cooldown reduction as well. And of course they increased the cooldown as well, which is those were needed nerfs on his ultimate, I think. And of course, so many people are going to be happy with this one. Skarner, they increased the cooldown of his W, which makes him go a bit faster and stuff. That's just a small little nerf, doesn't matter. But Impale will no longer finish casting if the target escapes the range during cast time. Finally. No longer shall you be hooked after flashing and things like that. I assume that's what that nerf is meant to be. Not really a nerf. It's more like a fix, I guess. I guess that's the way Riot are looking at it anyway. So Sona base health reduced to 410 from 450, base armor to 9 from 11. So that's just to kind of try and touch up early game a little bit, because that's what you used to do on Sona. You used to harass them down so much and then take advantage of the early game pressure that you've put on and get a CS lead and stuff. So that kind of makes it a bit a bit less easy to play Sona, I suppose. You have to be a bit more careful. Syndra buffs, I suppose. I mean, you can't really nerf Syndra the way it is now. They just make her. It seems like they're just trying to do what they did to Orianna, just make her a little bit more easier to use, a bit more responsive and things like that. But the biggest thing has to be with the ultimate. So Unleash Power spell shields now will only block a single sphere rather than the entire spell. So Severe Nocturne used to block the whole of her orbs coming in. It used to block all of them at once, which kind of makes those champions OP against her. So gives her these buffs will give her a little bit of help in mid. Although I don't really think it's going to change much, to be honest. You know, don't quote me on that though. Who knows? People could start owning with Syndra now, but I don't think so. So the Tristana changed. Those, you may think those had something to do with AD. No, it seems all these changes on Tristana are just 100% about AP Tristana. I don't know why they want to make AP Tristana good, but, you know, having massive range on the E is going to make her a bit better, I think. And Buster Shot mana cooldown, mana cost reduced 100 from 140. You know, can't complain about that either. Trundle, you know, I thought they would have made Trundle a bit different other than this, because it's been a bit of a stagnant jungle for a while, and yeah, it's not really a big change. Rabbit Bite mana cost reduced to 30 from 40, and Contaminate cast animation no longer Lux Trundle out of using other abilities. It's not really a massive change, is it? He's not going to be too different from that. So you have Deathfire Grasp no longer grants cooldown reduction, active base damage reduced to 15%, current health from 25%. Ability power ratio increased to 5% plus from 4%. But I think that just screws Deathfire Grasp. People used to build it on a lot of APs anyway. People used to build it on a lot of APs. I don't think it will get built now at all. So they do a little bit of nerfing on the Phage as well. I think that was kind of needed. Phage was too strong for for Graves and Corki on for Ezreal and Corki on bottom. I mean, if you didn't buy the Phage first, you were just kind of gimping yourself. I think those nerfs were needed. You know, slow duration reduced to 2 seconds from 2.5. That was kind of needed, and especially if you're going to nerf the Phage, you have to nerf the Trinity Force and the Frozen Mallet as well. It kind of goes hand in hand. So Hextech Sweeper, new recipe, Amplifying Tone plus Kindle Gem. Total cost 1,435. Ability power reduced from 40 to 25. Active Infect increased from 6 second duration to 10 seconds. So they changed the recipe of that. Amplifying Tone and Kindle Gem. That's interesting anyway. And a few other co-op plus AI changes. I won't talk about them. General Dragon's burning damage will no longer disrupt players from recalling. Not sure why they changed that. It's not really a big deal or anything. And there doesn't seem to be too much else. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about these changes in the comments, guys. It's a pretty big change. It's going to rock things up, definitely on the way things are played all around the whole of like mid and top and everything. I mean, the changes on Skarner are pretty big, and of course Ezreal getting nerfed and Trinity Force getting nerfed, those are quite big as well. Maybe it changes up bot lane a little bit, so we'll have to see. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Peace.